beneficiary of that. UJ and Spirit pulled off about 3 kills in that bottom lane and just snowballed the Jinx into like an 11-minute IE. And from there, it was just all pushing stuff uphill from Zhang Ao. Couldn't get anything going on Urgot. He was a non-factor.
Yeah, and that's the scary thought when your Urgot, you know, basically pick to counter these hyper carries and block them off, has a lot of trouble in that lane, but World Elite going to reset a little bit. So that's EP on the left there. Vladimir will be banned first. Urgot actually banned on the blue side, so don't want to first pick it, but don't want to give it away. Rek'Sai the ban there as well. And we've got Lulu, Nautilus, and EP's banned. World Elite's banned.
Yeah, so World Elite banned. I'm pretty sure they're the exact same ones. Complete reflex bans coming out of NEG Pacemaker here. They had no bans to start with, so maybe they would have banned these champions if they had the option, but Vlad and Urgot are the two ones for this patch specifically that stick out.
Yeah, we're going to, again, see, do they want to take Sejuani? So many teams have first picked Sejuani in situations where they're allowed to, but she's been pretty hit or miss, honestly. I can see the power. It makes a lot of sense in the Cinderhulk world, but it is exploitable like we've seen, and Amazing J will first pick it for his team, but Spirit might go right back to Nunu.
Yeah, it just makes sense, you know. He used it so well to just bully out the late game jungler, and you're right. If Sejuani gets through the first 25 minutes of the game, unrivaled, damage through the roof, has fantastic lockdown. It's just fantastic in these teamfight situations. But the problem is, you can just bully on her before level 6, and it just delays that further and further. And this is why mid-game comps saw a lot of play in League of Legends. If you are able to get ahead with a mid-game composition, just never gets to that super late game.
Yeah, we can see the Sion first pick there for World Elite. Love that takeaway for Aluka once again. And it is going to be Thresh coming up for UJ. They last picked it in the last draft, but they know that it's a priority here. And UJ had one hell of a game.
Certainly did, and it just couples so well with the, the Jinx coming through all the lockdown CC. So I agree. Strong pick there. Gets it away from Shu as well. So Shu might be forced back onto the Janna. He tried his best to keep his AD carry safe, but really wasn't successful.
I mean, Janna suffers a lot in this meta, you have to think. There's so much hard engage coming in. Even the soft CC is kind of annoying, and we talked about Janna's biggest weakness in earlier patches being champions like Lysandra with massive hard engage. When there's hard engage everywhere, Janna's just not a fun place for her.
Yeah, and the other problem is she's that squishy. If she's the one that gets hit by the initial CC, she can't peel anything because she just gets taken out. Raphael locking in Ezreal. You think that might be in the bottom lane, but there's still the likes of the double AD comps being run.
Yeah, always good for Ezreal to be a flex pick. We see Janna as the picks there coming through for Energy Pacemaker. World Elite have a couple things to consider. Gonna look to Spirit's jungle, maybe can get in the Nidalee if he wants and can get in the Nunu again. Sort of has his free reign as far as picks go, with Rek'Sai being the only notable jungle ban. I mean, World Elite might just run almost the same comp back again, or maybe go for something a bit more aggressive. We'll have to see.
Yeah, certainly will. Kalista, interesting pickup here because they're trusting that it is a double AD and there's not going to be that many tanks on the lineup if they are running Kalista. Still don't like Kalista into the pure tanky teams just because of the fact that it's very, very hard to get any of the rent sets going, but that's what they've gone with. They've also locked in LeBlanc for GA, so a little bit more of an old school World Elite composition, but I like it still. It's got the mid game dictating that they need, and if we get last game was any indication of how this series will go, they're just happy to run away with it in the first 15 minutes and push an advantage.
I mean, the thing that might have been most impressive to me in that last game was just that World Elite had plenty of good scaling, could really challenge EP in the late game if they both went late, and just found a way to win level 1 in the early first 10 minutes of the game and snowball the game from there with their late game champions.
Yeah, exactly right. And a lot of it was Spirit. We keep going back to him, but this guy probably unrivaled at the moment in terms of when you're talking about the pinnacle of junglers. He does everything really, really well.
Yeah, he's fantastic, but EP picked up a Draven and a Maokai here. Maokai makes plenty of sense, great against LeBlanc especially. This is a classic 5.4 counter pick here, but Draven is the pick here for Zhang. I believe it's the first time he's ever played it, and that is some big carry pants to be putting on when you're the new AD carry for your team.
It certainly is, but the problem here is I think they've actually fallen straight into WE's hands because Spirit right now feels no pressure to run a tank jungler because there are so many squishy members. He has a plethora of targets to be able to assassinate if he does take his Nidalee away. And if we saw anything yesterday, sure, Spirit, he can play any jungler, but God, is he good on Nidalee.
Yeah, when he's proactive, when he's aggressive, it just looks even better as a player. It sort of ascends to another level, and his Nidalee is, I think you're right, his best jungler.
Yeah, and he legitimately took over a game. The game was completely even yesterday, and all of a sudden he picked up, I think, 3 kills and a couple of assists, and the game was just completely over because He is so strong on this champion, just nails skill shots. Has, more importantly, the read on when he can go in for the execute damage. We see a lot of Nidalees commit, and then people live on like 100 health, and they all of a sudden can't use a second pounce to get out. Very good at landing the spear, pouncing in, getting the kill, then pouncing back out.
Yeah, and I like some of the synergy with Kalista there as well. Certainly good that with the Ezreal there, there's a lot of better targets. Much like Nidalee is happy that there's lots of squishies, Kalista is in the same boat.
Yeah, exactly right. And this is the thing about Kalista. If the first spear lands, and that's a target that Kalista's been nailing with all the, I guess, auto attacks, the resets just come through so quickly.
As we go through some of the matchups, Ezreal versus LeBlanc actually kind of a throwback matchup here. And this is an interesting one. Draven versus Kalista. I don't know if we've ever seen this matchup in the LPL.
Certainly looks like it will be in Draven's favor for the first lot of the match. Of course, Kalista does go for the BT first, the Bloodthirster, so should have a better time after she picks up her first major item, but definitely can't afford to go for an early Hurricane.
Yeah, Janna threshed the matchup there as well, but should be just fine. Very AD carry-centric, actually, both those bottom lanes. We've seen Mystic run away with the lane last game. Could do it again on Kalista.
Yeah, certainly look to be doing that. A lot of it was about Spirit and Yuji. If they continue to pressure that way, the lane's just over from the jungle pressure.
Yeah, but we've seen what happens when Dravens get massively ahead as well. Crystal, thank you for showing us that. We'll see if Zangar can get it done with the Draven. We're going to get straight into game 2. And welcome back onto the Rift here for our second game between Energy Pacemaker and World Elite. Drizzle is hanging out here, trying to see if he can spot off the Spirit. And again, lots of very defensive positioning here. Everyone just scouting out those early jungle entrances.
Yeah, defensive posturing and maybe just trying to get an eye on some people to get the lane swap through. You would think that if anyone wanted it, it's World Elite, just because of the fact that the duo lane coming out of EP looks extremely strong, and Spirit lands the first spear there. Oh, he just misses the ward.
Good mechanics there. Almost getting that trinket away, but can't quite clean it out. And the vision actually on the Raptors. Well, love this from World Elite. Actually, I would have loved more if they didn't have the Scion, but spotting for this man here, Amazing J, who's trying to take away an early camp.
Yeah, exactly right. They're seeing whether they can get a cheeky assassination in. I really like with Ezreal as well, just going deep and seeing if you can tag the Scion and make him back away from his camp. Because of the fact that you're Ezreal, the Q range is just so huge. But instead, everyone's setting up very defensively, and it will be standard lanes.
Yeah, just going to be a... No, it looks like Amazing J will actually move back. I think just getting the little creeps there, given that. And we'll actually might even look for a jungle follow. So maybe expecting a swap here, but Aluka going to start his W. They're going to get onto that camp for himself. So we should see another suicide here and quick level 2s for both the top laners.
Yeah, and Aluka making sure that he has his shield on before they spawn so he can pop it and not die slowly. You want to die as fast as possible because you just do so much damage if you were dead as Aluka. So he gets a nice early death. From there, he'll be able to take out the camp.
Yeah, and Aluka, again, been the Scion player in the LPL pretty much since Scion came into the meta, and it's no surprise that he's on top of the little things as well.
Yeah, exactly right. He gets the first teleport, so he actually beats Maokai back in the lane, and that's pretty impressive because Maokai nearly insta-kills his camp.
And you can see one little creep being taken out by World Elite's bottom lane as well. So a bit of experience for both of the lanes, I believe. Flanny just shot there for UJ, actually. Zangar's spacing very well, but this is a very volatile bottom lane.
Yeah, and this is one thing I will say about taking W first on Kalista. Synergizes very well with Flay because UJ gets his Flay auto and the Kalista passive in one, and it does a lot of surprising damage this early in the game. So that's just the little things. Little things like that in bot lane actually win you the lane because you get one disadvantaged trade, and you can't go near creeps.
Yeah, I mean, just with more people in the lane, the little things add up so much more. And level 2 came pretty quickly about the same time for both of them, but Spirit doing what he loves to do on Nidalee and picking on the Sejuani. Drizzle going to get his red buff taken away. If Spirit goes further, might even just kill him.
Yeah, exactly right. Spirit wasn't looking for the kill in the end, but he's going to be able to get a 3-buff start against the Sejuani. And we said this is the danger against playing the tanky junglers against the likes of Cacao. Spirit, very similar jungle, going to be able to take that one away.
Unsurprisingly, both fantastic Nidalee players as well. Even Mystic had a Sentinel moving in there as well, just to give Spirit some extra vision. Not going to take away another camp, but has that warded on lockdown, it seems. That's GA doing that.
Yeah, it certainly is, and they're just repetitively throwing it over the wall. Wonder if that's what scouted out that Sejuani was low and that they could initially go for it. Would love to watch the tape of that one, and we'll see. Now that he's grabbed that, Spirit goes up, picks up a Rift Scuttler, secures the top side of the map control, and Drizzle, he's only level 2 and it's 4 minutes into the game.
It has the bottom scuttler as well, so nothing left for really Drizzle to take. Spirit, though, coming into the top side of the map, wants to gank for a Luca. Amazing J already a little too low in Spirit, just with the red buff in the range from going in, and Amazing J knows he's dead. First blood will go to Aluka.
Yeah, so Aluka picking it up. It looked like Spirit wanted that one. Nidalee is one of the champions that Spirit does not give kills away on, is happy to carry on it with all the damage that he picks up. And we can see just from how well Aluka was already doing in that lane, that's going against him. Wow.
That hook was amazing. Zhangao in trouble now as Mystic going to hop on top of him. Very volatile trades. Good lantern, but the exhaust is great there from Shu. Coming in though with the stacks. Ren comes in. Mystic gets the first kill. Shu now has to run away. Gets rendered. Flay back in there. And Mystic going to get the double. Drizzle now coming in to try and kill him, but Mystic still alive for now. Kiting back with the Ren will finally go down. UJ going to escape though on a great 2-for-1.
A really good flash out of Drizzle. I thought Mystic had nailed that when he dodged out of the first Q and missed the slow, but in the end, Drizzle was able to get back on top of him with that Arctic Winds, I believe it's called the W. And wow, what a volatile bottom lane. 2 kills already going over to Kalista. You could see that they thought the Ren had been used because Zhang Hao went really aggressive after he thought the burst damage had come through. Hadn't, and they pick up an easy 2 kills.
Yeah, some good stacking there, and again, great aggression from the World Elite duo, able to get ahead in the lane. And this is twice now that we've had maybe not a counter matchup in this particular game, but certainly an aggressive edge there in the bottom lane, and World Elite have just taken over.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And like you mentioned, it's not an outright counter pick, but Draven is certainly a stronger laner than you're expecting out of a Kalista early. It's just all about the Thresh being able to nail the early kills.
GA going in there. Raphael going to do some good damage. Ignite's going down. Raphael has to be careful. Good barrier there. Going to protect him. That's the Mimic though as GA's flashed out of the way, and he'll be safe, but a good defend from Drizzle.
Yeah, so able to get in there. They, in the end, burn the Summoner spells out of GA, so a lot of kill potential now gone from the Ezreal. That's really important to get done before the level 6 mark comes through. And Drizzle, he's a real beneficiary of all these lanes losing right now, because he's just picked up 2 free waves, one in the top bottom, one in the mid.
Yeah, actually, Xia going to go aggressive. Drizzle has to be careful. Auto's weaving in. Beautiful play from Xia and gets himself a free kill.
Yeah, and he would have thought the Ignite just went down. He's got no mana. I'm completely safe to farm this out, but Xia just understanding the mechanics. They're going again, though.
Spirit riding in, though. Lantern coming through for UJ, but Zhangao and Shu back away. That might mean the Dragon for World Elite. They feel like they have the aggressive edge. Spirit going to go back again, just trying to poke them off. And we are going to see something. Spirit hops over. I think they want to take something away. Maybe red buff's back up.
Yeah, it just looks like they're trying to get the deep vision on top of that red buff. They step on a pink ward, but Spirit, he's still heading in as quick as he can.
Yeah, they want the kill onto Raphael. She is actually level 7 right now as Ezreal almost hit 6. So going to get a bit of extra CS. UJ clears out the pink ward finally as he goes to put in some deep vision. No sidestone, but some good wards left. And Drizzle just getting followed. Level 5 still on Sejuani despite the lane tax.
Yeah, exactly right. And he's taken so much away, and Spirit is still a full level ahead of him, just getting so much more done with that 3 buff start. They're picking up control over the bottom side of the map again with literally free will. There's nothing at the moment that Energy Pacemaker can do. 2,000 gold at 7 minutes is the advantage.
And again, for World Elite, it's really been the little things today. I love that they're taking away the Scuttle Cry because that's more jungle tonight away from Drizzle.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Spirit, he wanted to counter jungle the blue buff, was spotted out by a good ward. Probably, not a ward, the Wolf Spirit, probably the most important thing. Oh,
sick spear there onto Raphael, and he backs away immediately.
He got nailed by that spear, and the Wolf is really one of the most important smites in the game if you are behind, because if you're going to get repetitively invaded, just allows you to be able to keep on top of where everything is.
And Drizzle thankfully was able to get the blue buff. Actually gets him level 6. We'll deny it away from Raphael, but at least Spirit didn't get it this time.
Yeah, exactly right. So they get the buff for themselves. Unfortunately, it's not the Ezreal who went the tier build, so really does need the mana to be able to stack that up. And what that means is that GA with the early kill is now even further ahead in the lane.
And you can see Luwong's done a great job of pushing in the wave early as well. I just feel like Raphael can't control this lane that well.
Yeah, Raphael goes for the steal.
Oh, it is going to get a beautiful stuff by Raphael.
Yeah, really good ward coming through there, and they're able to pick it up. They must have known that he fired that because he was in vision of the creep wave. Very surprised that Spirit didn't go for the execute.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I think maybe just didn't have cooldowns, but Raphael will finally get a blue buff. Actually, a good steal there from EP as they'll take both the second rotation of blue buffs here back down the bottom. you can see things have evened out a bit since the early chaos, and Mystic only a Vampiric Scepter from that first buy, so not able to get a big AD item to really punish like last time.
Yeah, exactly right. Doesn't, I guess, have the money to be able to come through with the BF, but still wanted to get as much as he possibly can through the boots on top of it for good measure. And you see UJ, he's playing up nice and deep, but Sejuani is in the bottom, has got an ultimate. A lot of damage still comes through from this Draven combo.
Yeah, Drizzle ready to go with the ultimate, like you said. So we'll see if they do want to go in. Raphael, though, getting nailed by a chain. Second from Xie is going to force the flash, and this LeBlanc is on point.
Yeah, it certainly is, and really only the bottom lane is anywhere that they have kill potential, and Drizzle has camped this one out for a long time. They need to be careful here at WE bottom lane, but Drizzle doesn't look like he wants to pull the trigger.
No, been here for at least 30 seconds, and there is a ward there for EP. They know where UJ's in that brush, so Drizzle can go whenever he wants, but they really want Mystic. They actually can't afford to go, and there's the ulti coming through. Mystic gets knocked up, and beautiful play. UJ now a sitting duck without the Fates call. Zangar flashes forward. He wants the kill, and he's going to get it.
Yeah, so he gets the double kill, and that was just very patient play. You called it. They didn't want UJ because he just would have been picked up, thrown away, and then the leapfrog through the lantern would have got them both to safety. Waited for Mystic, we're able to nail him there, and some good poke coming through from Spirit. See if he can force him off the dragon. Looks like he can.
Yeah, currently defending 1v3, but Xie in reserve if he needs him. Spears still coming in. Spirit actually fancies his chances apparently in any sort of engagement, but we'll get them off the dragon and take away the Scuttle Crab. Level 7 now for Spirit.
Yeah, so Spirit level 7 also has his Magus enchant fully upgraded already. Oh, wow.
Massive chains are coming through. Xie follows him beautifully. He's out there. The Ignite picks up the kill, and another solo kill for LeBlanc.
And that is...
Goodbye, Drizzle. Now Spirit coming in, gets the red buff, chasing in. As the autos coming through, Zangar comes into defend, but Drizzle eats a spear. Zangar misses the block, and Spirit, what a play.
And that is just one of those times that you automatically dodge the max range spear accidentally, and it costs your jungler his life. It will also cost them a dragon, coupled with the fact that GA completely outplayed Raphael in the mid lane. And WE, they get their 2,000 gold advantage back. They're going to pick up the first dragon, and they're just looking in form.
And it was all bottom lane in game 1 here, and Mystic and UJ have had a fine lane, but a good gank from Drizzle evened it up a bit, and this time it's the jungler and the mid lane are really powering World Elite's early game.
Yeah, it certainly is, and the impressive thing is that GA hasn't had that much help. He really is by himself carrying his lane through, and the criticism of GA is that he is a very much laning mid laner. He isn't known for his team fight play very much. Likes to get in, dominate a lane, but if you can dominate a lane this much, it doesn't matter if you can fight a team fight because he's just going to kill someone on the map before it even starts.
And it's great to see LeBlanc being picked so intelligently. I don't quite remember the draft, but I believe they saw the Ezreal pick before this happened, so we're pretty safe that it was a mid Ezreal, and we've seen again all these Chalice users coming through, all these defensive mid laners kind of moving LeBlanc out, but Ezreal's a great target for LeBlanc.
Yeah, exactly right, and you see exactly why. He even went the aggressive flat. Wow, he's going it again.
Yeah, Xie just unrelenting in the pressure.
Yeah, so he went aggressive with his flash before he threw anything out. If you miss the chains in that combo, you look ridiculous because you have burned a summoner spell for nothing because you went for the 100 to 0. Instead, goes for the glory play, able to pick it up.
And looks so good so far. 2 early kills there for World Elite's mid laner. Spirit continuing to counter jungle. Poor Drizzle now 2 levels, actually still just a level behind, but Spirit now looking for the gank. Raphael standing still there with a true shot barrage, gets nailed by a spear, and Spirit moves in to execute, takes the kill, but tried to leave it for LeBlanc.
Yeah, he certainly did. He was diving in there. As I said, one of the junglers Spirit doesn't mind getting fed on is the Nidalee, just because he's so strong on it, and it is really a carry pick. But the thing that impresses me about him, he gets the auto attack for the slow before he even goes into Cougar form, gets the execute, and leaps out. Doesn't waste any of his gap closing ability, really understands how to play the champion to its fullest potential. Has that tier stacking up now, so will be that late game poke heavy jungler, and he's taking away a blue buff.
Yeah, Nidalee fairly mechanically intensive as well. We saw it, when players started picking it up, kind of going through the growing pains of playing such a weird champion or a different champion in the jungle, but Spirit's always been a player that's on top of that sort of stuff, and it really shines in this Nidalee play.
Yeah, it certainly does, and good ward control down in the bottom lane will mean Mystic and UJ completely safe from the return visit from Drizzle. Across the board, WE, I'm not going to... Oh,
Spirit actually going to find Amazing J now, who's now going to feel the wrath of the Nidalee. Pops his ultimate. Lucas coming in. Ultimate going to move through. Almost gets him there as the minions getting away, but a good roar of the Slayer coming in. Knock up there going to seal Amazing J's fate. Spirit going to dive in. Gets himself the kill. And Aluka, he does claim it, but Spirit not quite in range.
Yeah, not quite in range. Had the red buff ticking, probably would have been enough, but gives it over to Aluka, who's just having his free reign over the top lane right now. He's 10 CS in the advantage, has the 2 kills as well. That death, don't be fooled, was to a pesky raptor, not to a tree in the top lane. And WE, they're 4,000 gold in the lead. They're a dragon. It's 14 minutes in the game. This looks like a repeat performance.
It does. I mean, it's not quite as massive a lead as it was in Game 1, but still just as impressive, maybe more so, given that it's mostly been solo work by Spirit and Shie that's propelled him to this particular position. Poor Drizzle, 2 games in a row now that he's been bullied around by Spirit.
Yeah, and I really think that teams will take a lot away from this WE game if they do make playoffs, and just note that against the likes of the aggressive junglers, you cannot play the Sejuani. I think it's a fantastic pick if you see something like a Gragas or a Zac has been locked in, really does their job better. But if you're against the Lee Sin, if you're against the Nidalee, they are going to pick on you.
Poor Scuttlecrab not going anywhere. Spirit confusing the poor little thing as he will take it away. And again, level 10 for the Nidalee, finds the blue buff there as well. Likely going to donate that one over. Hopefully not to Raphael this time, who does have his ultimate ready to go. But Shea going to wander over and pick up his first blue buff.
Yeah, it looks like he will be able to get it this time, although wants a piece of Raphael first. Just trying to push out the wave. Actually, Spirit took that one for himself. Shea happy with that, and Spirit wants the experience. He's nearly equal with the solo laners.
And Shea still getting aggressive. Good damage onto this mid lane turret. Drizzle is off to the side looking for a gank, but LeBlanc super slippery, does have the flash available, so pretty difficult target there for Drizzle.
Yeah, definitely agree. It's a hard target to try and gank, and Drizzle, he's 2 levels behind still, and his whole jungle has been warded the whole time, stolen. He really hasn't had much to do at this point. May as well take teleport and just go sit top, because there's not really much options on the map for him to get stuff done.
Yeah, as we check backing with the bottom lane now as well, we can see super even on CS, so a good job for both of them. I guess after the early carnage, been very calm, although now a trade will ensue as Mystic hopping around onto Zango, trying to stack up the Ren. UJ looking for a hook, good Ren there for some trade damage, and again, when Kalista's able to hop around you and stack it up, Draven does have trouble.
Yeah, he certainly does, and the thing about Kalista is if she goes the Bloodthirster first, the Ren does a lot of burst damage, surprisingly, so a good job there to be able to get all of that through. Spirit going for another gank here as well. Whirling Death used to just clear out the way.
They're actually going to ride in instead. Fade's Go will get popped away. Zango going to move in, but a good play from behind. Mystic diving in, but gets exhausted and forced to hop out from the turret. Luca has teleported in. Mystic actually going to get dove by Amazing J. I think Thresh is kind of caught in no man's land, but Amazing J will go down there to the render. Spirit actually will get the kill instead. UJ somehow got away with Shie coming in support, and World Elite get a free kill.
Yeah, he just actually, wow, they're going in.
Going back in there, roll the Slayer onto Zango. That's going to force a bust. Shea nails Drizzle with the chain, who blocks it nicely, who's going to come back in, but Zango going to get chased away. Shu the next target hit for Mystic as Raphael also is in trouble. Spirit nails Drizzle with a spear, going to get another kill for World Elite. Tower should fall soon in the bottom side, and Dragon's back soon.
Yeah, Dragon back up in 15 seconds. They'll grab both objectives for it, it looks like, if they want. No, they're sending members back, so taking this one nice and slow, but the Void Staff was finished for Spirit, and you can see nearly 100 CS. He's double the other jungler, 4-0-2. This is why he's so dangerous to give Nidalee to. Just such a good jungler.
And you can see why they backed away. Spirit comfortably soloing the Dragon out again here on his team. Going to take their second away. Will take him not too long, actually. He's fairly strong with his early items coming through. Frozen Heart finish for Aluka. Abyssal Scepter completed for Shea as LeBlanc after Morello Nomicon. He did get the mid turret earlier. Mystic gets the bottom turret there as well. And all of a sudden, World Elite 7,000 gold ahead.
Yeah, we said it was looking better. Wow, did that just rapidly deteriorate. It looked like it was going to go against World Elite for a second. It was a very aggressive dive, but just once again, the communication split focus came through from Energy Pacemaker, and WE really making them pay.
And World Elite, remember, had so much trouble in the early stages of the LPL, where I think had a 12-game loss streak at one point. And how insane is it that this team, who's not only new, that has such improve results. I guess that's expected. You make a change, you hope things get better. But the level of coordination that this team is already showing, despite being together for, what, a month, I think, at this point, is just unbelievable.
Yeah, you really nailed it because you hope the teams get better, but we've seen this season already that sometimes it doesn't. Just look across the other side of the rift. Energy Pacemaker, living proof that you can make as many changes as you want, and sometimes they're not going to improve the team at all. But WE, they stuck at it. They were confident that they got it right this time around, and boy, are they repaying their fans, because all of a sudden, they look like 5th or 6th team in the LPL when they play this good.
Yeah, just a shame that, again, the changes came so late. I mean, I guess it's good they came at all. Shie going super aggressive on top of Drizzle, just trying to get a bit of pressure down. Lord Elite will back away there. Baron not quite up a minute till that one, but probably not going to be seeing that anytime soon. Aluka moving now in the top lane here, just kind of fishing through some minions, and he's ahead on CS as well, just keeping Maokai pinned down.
Yeah, exactly right. He's just at the point now where he shrugs off all damage, and he's just happy to sit on that balmy Cinder. Doesn't even go for the full Sunfire cape, then goes into his Frozen Heart, some cooldown reduction. Will pick up a Banshee's Veil for himself, and just having the time of his life in the top lane.
As he moves through some other early items as well, I praise Mystic's play in Game 1 on the Jinx, and have to do the same here for his item build. Thank God for no Rune's Hurricane.
Yeah, I'm really not a fan of the Hurricane at the moment, just because of the fact that the tank busting is lackluster. As far as hyper carries go on single DPS, she's actually very good, Kalista. No one just builds her that way.
And, you know, we've seen a couple of games, maybe one, I think, that Imp had, where he built, you know, very single. It's like a traditional AD carry build on Kalista, and Mystic going to look to do the same here. Bloodthirster into Phantomancer looks to be the build here, and eventually we'll see Infinity Edge, and all of a sudden, Kalista, you're just used to seeing her hop around and AoE people. She's going to be killing people straight up, even the Sejuani.
Yeah, exactly right, and it really is about that. The Maokai dives on her. She's just got to kite the Maokai and kill him. That's really what the aim of the game is now. Good map movement. They've already secured mid lane turret with Aluka. They're going to be able to get in there, just missing a spear on Zhang Ao. And Aluka, he's really doing his job well this series on the tank. I'm waiting for the double tank bans to come back through for this man, because he just looks so good on it.
Spear onto Drizzle coming in. Shie diving in onto Zhang Ao. Aluka going to go in with the ulti, just zoning them away. Lantern will get him out to safety as Mystic hops by the cannon minion to clear that area as well. 5 turrets now felled for World Elite. That last tier 2 in the top's the only remaining bastion of defense realistically for EP.
Yeah, exactly right, and I don't even think they can defend that one. And got to once again question Energy Pacemaker's draft. I think this game went wrong before they even stepped onto the rift, because Spirit, his Nidalee is an assassin. That's the only way you can look at it. Jie, known for his assassin play, coming through from solo queue, of course. So you run a double AD comp into 2 fantastic assassins and a pure tank player. I don't know what they were hoping out of this draft.
And Spirit going to take the blue away again, it looks like. So really, again, his team trusting him. She is saying, you know what, I'm just fine. You take it away. You need it more for the poke and the spears, and completely trusting his jungler to carry his Zhang Ao, getting caught up by Shie. Distorts away there. Not enough for the kill, unfortunately, but plenty of pressure early on. LeBlanc is massive.
Yeah, it certainly is. Sends him back to base at least. There's no way Zhang Ao can go up for the next minion wave, so he's going to have to go and scrounge some farm up somewhere else. Has actually picked up a null magic mantle before he even finishes his second aggressive item, just so he can survive. Probably saved his life in that situation.
Yeah, a bit of lifesteal there with the Bloodthirst off the Gromp, but Drizzle still scrounging for farm as well. Shie going to dive in onto Raphael this time, and again, it's what we talked about in the draft. Like you just mentioned, all these targets as Mystic going to go in there. Lantern going to move through, can't quite click a good ulti there from Shu. Somehow flashes on top of the Lantern. Now moving back in as Aluka's going to come through. Mystic just throwing poke in, 3-man knock up into stun. There for Aluka, and Spirit coming around the side. Shie moving through the flank as well. Amazing J on top of him are the rest of World Elite. He'll go down first as Shie gets 1 kill. Aluka chasing in, look for the knockup. Spirit lands for Spirit, does pounce over the wall. Aluka ulting in there, massive double there as he comes through. Now Shie diving in aggressive, triple kill instantly picked up there for the LeBlanc. Raphael goes down and World Elite get a clean ace.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, was that
It was a quadra kill.
Wow, Shie just going absolutely off. I didn't get to see who took, I think it was the 3rd or 4th kill in that, but WE, there's really not much to say about this series. They just look like they're the better team, and they're outplaying Energy Pacemaker.
And looking great doing it as well. You know, it's not a team that's, you know, maybe outclassing some of the lanes and then struggling through the game. They're closing efficiently now against Energy Pacemaker and have just been on form for the last few weeks. I get it, it's against Energy Pacemaker. They're probably expecting the 2-0, but they need it right now, and this performance is one of a kind from this team.
Yeah, exactly right. And the good thing about it is it turns a lackluster season into a good news story for them. As we take a look at this team fight, they just couldn't get through the Scion. And in the end, he goes in for the huge knock-up, and this Fed LeBlanc dives in. He gets the Mimic Distort on top and grabs all three. I think it was Alaska. Was it Spirit that stole it?
No, Maokai died first to Mystic, I believe, so LeBlanc got the other four.
So LeBlanc got the other four on the back end, and just a very good quadra kill. And Aluka now, he's doing some counter jungling of his own. He got it.
He did get it too, just on the edge of Roar of the Slayer. I think actually Palmy Cinder helped him get the buff, but poor Drizzle didn't have a smite, or maybe had it and used it late, but can't even contest against a Scion. You know you're in trouble then.
Yeah, exactly right. When Scion, who has good bases but really isn't building for the damage department, is stealing your buffs, you're a little bit frustrated as a jungler. He's officially half of the CS of Spirit, and see it. He's about to go back. I want to see what he picks up. Must have some gold.
I mean, Xie and Spirit are so fed here, and it's crazy that World Elite are playing around two different carries this time around. It was all Mystic in game one. They built around him, they comped around him, and he delivered as far as performances go on that Jinx. This time, very much more of a cleanup role here on the Kalista, just playing a supportive role in the AD carry, and Gia and Spirit have stepped right up. 11 kills in between them, make it 13. So make it 12, sorry, as Gia gets his 7th.
Yeah, exactly right. And I can understand why you got confused with the 13, because Draven would have died twice in that combo nearly. Just so much damage coming out of the LeBlanc. They've both got their death caps. Spirit turned his death. Ooh.
Oh, Drizzle going to eat a spear. Look at that damage. Mystic going in aggressive. She has found the chains, and Meepy, they've given it up. World Elite diving onto the base, and Energy Pacemaker cannot hold them down.
Yeah, so one more series for WE against Gamti next week, but they've done everything they can this week. They get a win. I think they got a draw as well, so 4 points. Puts them equal 9th with Starhorn Royal Club, and they're still making their late push.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think that the team that was solidly 12th place, let's reiterate that, solidly in the bottom of the table for the first half of the LPL, the fact that they're even in the running for the playoffs is just silly.
Yeah, it certainly is. And look, if you asked me 4 weeks ago, is this a playoff lineup? Do they deserve to be there? It was an outright no, but there is no question they are really stepping up, and now it's on all of the other teams. The best thing about the long season, whoever deserves to be in the playoffs will be there. Will it be Masters 3? Will it be Royal Club? Or will it be these guys? Because they've just shown they really mean business.
And EP still struggling late into the season. Again, made some changes. It's funny to think that their best looking performance on the weekend is one where they brought back their old players. Captain 57 was back in the lineup for the jungle, and you know they made a change for AD and had a very strong first series of the weekend.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and maybe it was just the fact that they're trying other things, trying to give Drizzle and Raphael a chance to prove themselves, but I agree. Their original lineup, the synergy lineup, that's what they were hailed for, really is the one that does it for me.
Yeah, I mean, EP have done some great things, but at the end of the season, maybe couldn't quite clinch it there.
Yeah, exactly right. They've just struggled a little bit too much. They will go into relegations most likely, and don't get me wrong, still a strong chance to come out, but they need to search for some answers.
Well, World Elite finished their weekend in fantastic fashion, but don't go too far. Invictus Gaming versus King is our upcoming match.